Welcome back, Algebra 2C. We're working on problems 19 through 24, which is solving rational equations. Now, the first thing I like to do with each one of these problems is write out the LCM, or least common multiple. Now, for number 19, it's going to be 5 times x plus 2. And the way we get that is we look at the denominator to see what is the least common multiple of both denominators. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation, x minus 2 over 5 times that least common multiple. And I'm going to multiply 1 over x plus 2 on the other side by that least common multiple. Now the reason I can do that is because if I multiply one side by something, I could have to multiply the exact same thing to the other side. And that's what I'm doing with the least common multiple. And now what you'll see is my 5 over 5 reduce, and my x plus 2 over x plus 2 also reduce to 1. And now what I'm left with on the left side is x minus 2 times the quantity x plus 2, in which we will have to FOIL. And on the right side, I'm left with 1 times 5. So I get x squared minus 4 equals 5. And now I'm just going to solve for x. Add 4 to one side. I get x squared equals 9. Take the square root of both sides. X equals plus or minus 3. So I have two answers to check. And the way I'm going to do that is take a quick second. Here's how I'm checked. On the left side of this, I'm going to substitute 3 in for x and see if it comes out to be true. And on the right side of this on this sheet, I substituted negative 3 in for x to see if that came out to be a true statement. And in both times, they did. Now let's look at number 20. Same idea. I want to start by writing out the least common multiple, which in this case is just x plus 5. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each term, 4 over x plus 5, by x plus 5. I'm going to multiply 3 times x plus 5. And I'm going to multiply 7 over x plus 5 times x plus 5. Okay? And now what you'll see on the left side is this x plus 5 over x plus 5 reduces, and I'm left with 4. I need to distribute this negative 3 to x plus 5, which gives me negative 3x minus 15. Equals, you see the x plus 5 over x plus 5 reduces, and I'm left with 7. And now I'm just going to solve for x. Okay, if you do that, you're left with negative 3x equals 18, and I get x equals negative 6. Okay, now I'm going to take that negative 6, and I'm going to check it, just like I did here. Plug negative 6 wherever I see an x. You'll see that simplifies to negative 7 equals negative 7, which is a true statement. Now on to number 21. Same idea. I need my least common multiple. In this case, it's just x. The only thing in the denominator is 1 and x. So I'm going to multiply each term by x. 6 times x plus 8 over x times x equals 4 times x. Now what I have is 6x. This x over x reduces to 1, which I'm left with 8 equals 4x. And now I'm going to solve for x. If I do that, I get 2x equals negative 8 and x equals negative 4. Here's the check for that. I plug negative 4 in for x, I get 4 equals 4, which is a true statement. Okay, we're moving on. Let's go to number 22. Number 22, same idea. I need a least common multiple. Least common multiple. In this case, it's going to be 4a squared. Look, we have a 4a here, a 2a squared here, and a 4a squared here. That least common multiple, in which all of them are factors, is 4a squared. So I'm going to multiply each one of those. 1 over 4a times 4a squared equals a minus 3 over 2a squared times 4a squared plus 5 over 4a squared times 4a squared. Now what you'll notice, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. What you'll notice is that 4a squared over 4a simplifies to just a. A minus 4a squared divided by 2a squared simplifies to 2. So I need to distribute this 2 times a minus 3. So I get 2a minus 6. And 4a squared over 4a squared simplifies to just 1. So I'm left with plus 5. Now if you get this, you're going to get negative a equals negative 1. So a equals 1. Now here's the check for number 22. Wherever I saw an a, I'm going to substitute 1 in. Simplify, simplify. I get 1/4 equals 1/4. Okay, on to number 3. Same idea. We need a least common multiple. And in this case, this least common multiple, we don't really know yet. We need to figure out how to factor this first. So that's going to be my first step. So if I factor that, I'm going to leave the whole left side of the equation the same. And that factors to x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 2. Okay, so these are both x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 2. And what that means is my least common multiple is this whole denominator right here. X plus 2 times the quantity x plus 2. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to multiply each term by this x plus 2 times x plus 2. So I'm going to do 5 over x plus 2 times that least common multiple plus 1 over x plus 2 times that least common multiple. And last but not least, x over x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 2 times that least common multiple. Okay, so this is kind of a big one. You got to see all these steps. Now I need to see what simplifies. X plus 2 over x plus 2 simplifies, and I'm left with 5 times the quantity x plus 2. So I need to distribute. So I get 5x plus 10. Over here, x plus 2 over x plus 2 simplifies, and I just need to distribute 1. So I'm left with plus x plus 2. And then on the right side of the equation, both x plus 2's simplify to 1, and I'm left with just x. Now if I solve that, I get 5x equals negative 12, and x equals negative 12 over 5. Okay, this is an ugly fraction, but we can check it with the calculator. And this is how that's going to work. If I plug in a negative 12 fifths wherever I see an x and simplify, you will get negative 15 equals negative 15. That comes out to be a true statement. Okay, last but not least, we're looking at number 24. I'm going to make myself some space over here. Okay, 24. I need a least common multiple. I'm going to factor first. Okay, if you factor x squared minus 16, you should get x plus 4 times the quantity x minus 4. That's going to be my least common multiple. Okay, notice how this x minus 4 is part of that least common multiple. And both of these are the exact same thing, so that's my least common multiple. So what I need to do is I need to multiply each one of these terms by that least common multiple. Now remember, this least common multiple simplified. If I multiply it out, I'm left with x squared minus 16. So I'm going to multiply each one of these by x squared minus 16. Okay, so I multiplied each one of them by the least common multiple. X squared minus 16 over x squared minus 16 simplifies to 1. This x squared minus 16, remember, factored is x plus 4 times x minus 4. So that means the x minus 4 is going to cancel out, and I'm left with plus 4 just times x plus 4. And then on the right side of the equation, x squared minus 16 simplifies to x squared minus 16, and I'm left with 5. Now if I distribute this 4, I have 1 plus 4x plus 16 equals 5. Multiply across, or add across, I get 4x plus 17 equals 5. And 4x equals negative 12. X equals negative 3. Just like every other problem, we're going to check really quickly. Wherever I see an x, I'm going to substitute a negative 3 in. And I get negative 5 sevenths equals negative 5 sevenths. Okay, so now we have worked through each one of these problems. You can repeat, watch, stop, go, whatever you need to do to get through as many times and watch this as many times as possible. If you are in Mr. Kruger's class and you are watching this, if you put a smiley face next to your name on the chapter test, you will receive extra credit. Okay, please don't tell your friends about this. I want to see who actually watched the videos. Thank you very much, guys.